chair to chair, head to head, and a 15-minute discussion that seems to have changed Trump's mind. Hopefully, Donald Trump will continue his support to Ukraine. The behind closed doors music seems to suggest that that is what is happening at the moment.
President Zelensky, we just mentioned Ukraine there. Well, he has said he can't guarantee the safety of foreign leaders attending Russia's Victory Day parade, which starts on Friday, despite President Putin calling for a 3-day ceasefire to mark the occasion. Ukrainian drones have hit Moscow for the second day in a row, with the city mayor saying at least 19 Ukrainian drones were destroyed. Meanwhile, Russia's own drone strikes left at least 4 dead in Ukrainian territory. I'm joined now by the former British military intelligence officer, Phillip Ingram. Phillip, thank you for talking to us tonight on Times Radio.
My pleasure.
There's a sense of nervousness in Russia on whether the ceasefire will be broken. A reminder, nearly 30 foreign leaders, including China's Xi Jinping, are expected to attend the parade. Will Ukraine target that parade, do you think?
Well, there is no ceasefire. Vladimir Putin proposed a 3-day ceasefire, and President Zelensky turned around and said, I'm not interested in parades. Let's make this a 30-day ceasefire and lead to longer-term peace, of which Putin kept silent. So there is no formal ceasefire whatsoever. In strict military terms, the parade is a legitimate military target. However, in moral terms, with world leaders there, with veterans there, and with what it is commemorating, it is something that is probably not worth attacking on the day because of the implications. But the build-up to it, disrupting the parade so that it doesn't happen or anything else, is perfectly legitimate. And the Ukrainian head of their military intelligence, General Budanov, turned around to those that were attending and said, you should bring air defenders.
Well, you're absolutely right to question the use of the word ceasefire. Putin may want it, but we know he's broken ceasefires in the past. And as you say, Ukraine has certainly not agreed to it on his terms. And the talking still seems to be going on. Just take a little listen to this, because this happened on the BBC Politics Live programme a little earlier today. Jeevan Sander, Labour MP for Loughborough, was speaking to Reform's former head of press, Gawain Tola, criticising Nigel Farage's soft approach to President Putin.
And the difference between us and you is that we stand up to Putin and your leader sucks up to him.
Absolute rubbish.
You is that
absolute rubbish.
Putin,
and by the way,
and we stand up to Russia. That is the difference between us. And I think our proudest moment as a country is when we stood up to foreign dictators, not when we sucked up to them.
Well, there we are. Nigel Farage protesting as he was accused of sucking up to Putin with some of his previous comments. How should the UK deal with President Putin, do you think?
Yeah, I think the UK should continue to do what it's doing at the minute, and then increase that and increase the way it's influencing the international community, both in its support for Ukraine and trying to stimulate more military support to go into Ukraine, political support and economic support to go in for Ukraine to start to build up its fund to help rebuild itself, but also in encouraging the international community to take further sanctions against Russia. Russia is still financing its war through its grey exports of its oil, gas, and refined oil products. And this is where we're starting to see some European nations and other nations around the world taking actions against Russia's shadow fleet that is moving this from the Russian ports round to Indian ports, to Chinese ports and elsewhere where it's being sold, and Putin is getting the money that he needs to finance what he's doing. So we're leading the way, and we need to continue that and ramp it up.
And of course, we get mixed messages, don't we, from Donald Trump. At the moment, he seems to be, pausing for breath, shall we say. But a little earlier, he was saying that he was getting angry with Putin and threatening more sanctions, but we haven't seen any sign of that yet. Then we had the signed minerals deal with Ukraine, but it seems to have gone quiet on any developments after that. What do you make of all of that, Philip?
Well, the one thing that you can say about Donald Trump is he's unpredictable. And we had that debacle in the Oval Office where he attacked Zelensky, and then for about 10 days afterwards, all of Trump's team just seemed to bring out the Kremlin line on everything. But then Vladimir Putin did something that was really silly. He didn't accept what Trump was saying. He then asked for more. And Putin's team put that out, and then we had that infamous picture, or the very famous picture of Trump and Zelensky sitting at the Pope's funeral in that beautiful building, chair to chair, head to head, and a 15-minute discussion that seems to have changed Trump's mind. Hopefully, Donald Trump will continue his support to Ukraine. The behind closed doors music seems to suggest that that is what is happening at the moment, but he doesn't seem to be taking any action against Vladimir Putin. Trump is trying to play with too many things at once. That's the problem.
Well, he seems to have his fingers in an awful lot of pies. I mean, we've just seen him talking to Mark Carney in the White House today, not rolling back on his desire to have Canada as the 51st state. At the same time, talking about trying to get a deal over Gaza and, after we've heard about Israel's latest plans to up the military deployment in Gaza. There is so much happening. For a former British military intelligence officer, you must have to be juggling an awful lot of thoughts at the same time.
Oh, a huge number of thoughts, and it's very concerning. I've been at this game for over 40 years, and I've never seen so much instability, and I've never seen so many paths that are beginning to develop that could lead to conflicts coming together. There's a long way to go before they do, but we've got too many conflicts brewing up around the world, and we've got too much uncertainty. One thing that geopolitics and international political leaders don't like is uncertainty. It hurts economically, it hurts politically, and we've got massive uncertainty across the world. It's not a good place to be.
Phillip Ingram, former British military intelligence officer, thank you very much for talking to us this evening.